Every time a house or techno club closes, we hear the same tired refrains. Younger people don't like to stay out late anymore. Younger people just don't drink as much as they used to. Clubs are just not as relevant to nightlife as they used to be, what with Tinder, and streaming, and pot being legal now. I don't buy that, and you shouldn't either. We need clubs, and if you love this music, you need clubs, and your music needs clubs. Let me explain. This year I started putting some music out here on YouTube, and I've been really enjoying it. More people have seen my music in the last few months than ever before. It's great, but I have to be honest, what you've heard here isn't really done yet. And I don't just mean because I can barely mix and can't master it all. No. See, this music, house music, is never really done until it's met a room of swaying bodies and the thump of a sound system that my neighbors can't complain about. It's not complete until we've added the clink of glasses at the bar and the thwack of snares vibrating rafters to the top end. It's not ready until friends and strangers are shouting to be heard over it. It needs the VJ to add her light scribbles on walls and bodies to make it complete. This music needs the club. House music needs us to hear it, out loud and together. Because once you enter my house, it becomes our house, and our house music. Look, not every track is club worthy, but I do my best, and I make my offerings. And the club decides its fate. The dance floor is its judge and jury, and the floor's decision is final. This is TBA. This is my local indie house and techno club, and it's where, for a time, I had the honor of playing, learning, and testing my tracks. Founded in the early 2010s when much of Manhattan club life was decamping to Brooklyn for cheaper rent, fewer neighbors, and maybe a grittier aesthetic, TBA was launched by Gio Gulez and Mehmet Erkaya, veteran promoters of underground parties. The venue basically aimed to make their underground parties legit. The name TBA literally meaning to be announced. The typical location you'd find on flyers or emails for unlicensed parties that smartly kept their location secret until a few hours beforehand to reduce the chances of, well, let's just say having to end early. I can't lie, I'm not that cool. I wasn't an early adopter, but I did start coming out to parties here later in the 20-teens. First time was for a wedding after party. A friend had met her future husband there, and after a very fun impromptu reception, they eloped and sent out a text message to us that they'd done so. We all headed over to TBA for the after party. TBA let us order in pizza, and it was a great night. After that, every so often there'd be a happening at TBA, and I would trek out from Manhattan for a DJ set or on the way home from something deeper in Brooklyn. The vibes were always cool, and the sound system was fucking sensational. In 2018, some guys I'd become good friends with while playing at an underground party invited me to play opening slot in their monthly residency. Shout out to TJ and Dylan, and to all my Warper Party peeps. I'd played a few sets to mostly friendly crowds of other musicians before, but never to a room full of paying strangers at a real club. I was thrilled, I was terrified. But it went well enough that I was asked to come back. Those sets came to mean everything to me. I was finally getting the practice I craved in front of real people and hearing my music played at proper club levels. I'm sure it wasn't all great, but the crowds responded to some of my tracks each time, and that was literally all I needed to keep going. The dance floor is judge and jury, and its decision is final. If you haven't guessed by now, TBA's story is coming to an end soon. The owners recently announced they'll be closing TBA on March 15th, 2025. Exactly 12 years to the day from when they opened. TBA's arc is the arc of a lot of great small clubs here in New York and around the country. But this isn't a video about gentrification, or lease expirations, or evolving tastes of nightlife, or even a bottle service kinda killed the clubs. Which it obviously did. This is a video about why clubs like TBA matter in the first place, and why you, yes you, dear passionate electronic music maker, need these clubs to exist. Here's the thing, your music will never be finished until it's been played out, shaken rafters, met bodies, and been judged by club goers. It's not for your hard drive, it's not for jogging, it's not for restaurants, it's not to impress your friends, it's to make people move in a club. If you love this music and you want to make it, I want to implore you to seek out places like TBA for yourself. Find places where they play your style of music and support them. Go out there for weekends, go out there for events, go out there in the middle of the week just to pop in and have a drink. These businesses don't survive on being around when you need them, they survive on selling drinks basically. The music we make is not background. But you can do anything you want with it. I mean, look, I'm not your dad. Thank you, TBA. I'll miss you. And I'm gonna hate having to find someplace else to get my music judged.